Steph with Stefsonabudget. Welcome or welcome back for another video. Today we're going to go ahead and set up our March 21st budget with me. So we're going to take a look and budget mine and my husband's full-time paycheck. So if you're new here, my husband and I are both paid on a bi-weekly basis. So we're paid every other Friday, and we're both paid on the same day. We are a dual income household, so we both bring home a full-time paycheck, and that is what we're going to look to budget. So I am looking at my March calendar spread. I do use the Budget Mom highlighter method, so that's kind of what we're looking at here. I've got all my bills listed and they're highlighted to color code per payday. So we are looking at this payday here, March 21st, our last paycheck of March, and I'm going to be looking to budget everything that's highlighted in green. One thing I'll say is, if you are new here again, is you're going to see a lot of things, there's a lot of things highlighted here that don't actually go in my budget because they are, open accounts, but there's no balance on those credit cards, if that makes sense. So I like to keep everything on the spread, and that way I have it, and the due dates and things like that don't get missed in case, there happens to be a balance on those cards or something. But I'm not explaining that very well. It's just because they're open accounts, I like to check them at least once a month, make sure everything is okay, but we don't have any balance owed on them. So it looks like more than there is, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We're also going to peek over into our April budget a little bit. Well, it's not really our April budget, but our paycheck flows into April. So we are going to need to cover some of these things here as well. And again, like for example, this Home Depot card, we have our Home Depot card open, but we don't have a balance on that. So it is highlighted in green, but you're not going to see it like on the budget with me per se. So we have a few things carrying over into April. Let's go ahead and flip back over to March here. And let's get to our paycheck budget tracker. So I do use the Budget Mom workbook, and I use her printable version. This is like the original printable version, so it even looks a little bit different now. But this is how I learned to budget, and it absolutely works for me. I absolutely love it. So we're going to take a look at this. Let's go ahead and pull this out. And then I am going to just move the budget binder out of the way because it's pretty big and it gets in the way here. Let me get to my monthly view though, so I know what I'm looking at. So I'll just kind of leave it there for a second. And I'm going to get another piece of paper because you guys know I can't write on the one piece. All right, and I have already wrote down our income because I lately have been forgetting to check it, and so I went ahead and popped that in there so that I didn't forget. So for both my husband and mine, so our pay one and pay two, we are budgeting for $4,700, so $4,700 between our two checks. I'm also going to go ahead, I don't normally do this, you guys, but I am getting my YouTube pay today as well, and I'm going to go ahead and pop this in here just because our pay two was a little bit short. And so I'm going to actually use my YouTube pay to kind of help supplement some of our savings. So, which is typically where it goes anyways. But let's go ahead and start with our fixed expenses. So between the two on income, we're looking to budget a total of $4,956. And we're going to start on our fixed expenses. And the first one is our second half of the mortgage. So we are going to go ahead and save the second half of our mortgage and make our April payment. So that's going to be $321, and I'm going to switch out this paper. Give me a quick second. That one's kind of all crusty because I use it for like when I'm cutting stuff. All right, so we need $1143 for the second half of our mortgage there. I have a Ko-fi subscription that is going to come out, and I'm going to put an A there. And this A just helps me recognize that this bill will come out automatically. And so I don't necessarily need to pay it. It'll just come out on its own. And that's $10. All right, you guys, if you remember our February debt update, was it February? I can't even remember at this point. I think it was, but we had paid off our city one. So now I'm going to go ahead and keep this in the budget as a debt snowball. And so that's why I have this little sticker here to help me indicate that that's a debt snowball. So I am going to go ahead and budget for that. And I do keep that in this fixed expenses section just because of the way I work through my budget. It's more of a mental thing than anything, you guys. It just helps me trick myself into thinking this is still a bill I have. And so that money I was putting towards debt still goes to debt and it snowballs into the next one. So we are going to keep that in the budget, and that is going to be $150. So that means this $150 is going to go to our current debt snowball, which right now is, I haven't done a Transfer Tuesday or an update, but right now it's going to go to our student loan. Okay, next up, let me just flip the book to this side. We have oh, my handwriting today is just atrocious. And sorry, I have to kind of like turn to right with my left-handedness. So we have a Kindle Unlimited subscription that is going to come out for $13. We have our iCloud, which is going to come out on the 25th for $11. Okay. We have Disney Plus. This is always like the heavy subscriptions for us. It's kind of funny how they all align. That's going to be on the 26th, and that's $22. Okay, then I have an oven debt snowball. So back in 2024, the beginning of 2024, we paid off our new ovens. And so I have kept that debt snowball in the budget as well, and that's $125. So that's an additional $275 that we're throwing at debt, you guys. So that's awesome. Okay, we have our cell phone bill, which I'm not going to forget this time, on the 28th, and that is $330, which covers 6 lines, unlimited, and we also get like free HBO Max. Something different, we are going to go ahead and make a payment to our Apple Card. There is not a balance on this. This has been paid off for a good while, but my husband did make a purchase on here, and normally I'd pull from his sinking fund to pay this back. I'm just going to go ahead and cash flow it this time because I can. You know, if I wasn't able to, I would just pull from the sinking fund. So that's going to be $105. Okay, then we're going to skip over into April, which I already know off the top of my head. That's going to be our student loan payment, and we're going to pay $100 to that. We have our internet bill on the 3rd, and that's $65. Okay, and I think, let me just double check after I said, oh, I already know. Oh, see, I did miss something. I have another Ko-fi sub on the 2nd, and that's $9. Okay, so student loan, Ko-fi, internet, and then we have our truck payment. Okay, and that's on the 5th, and that's $10.13. All right, so that is all of our fixed expenses. Let's go ahead and add those up and see what we're looking at. Okay, we are at $3,096, you guys. So $3,096. If we take that from our income of $4,956, that leaves us with $1,860. So we're gonna pop that in here. And then we'll bring down the $1,860 to our variable expenses or our cash envelopes. So let's go ahead and write in all of our cash envelopes. We've got groceries, we've got Costco. I get a question from time to time about these. At Costco, yes, we do purchase food and we also purchase household items. So, you know, you could lump these together, but for us, we do a routine Costco shop. And so I like having it as a separate line item because I like to see specifically what I'm spending there to see if it's worth the membership and that sort of thing, which we know it is. But to me, they're very separate and I like to see the different amounts in my budget. Costco covers both food and household. So you know, it's kind of hard to make it fit in the separate two. So I like it to be its own line item. So that's why we have that separated out. Okay, we have gas for our vehicles. We have house and beauty. And this is what I typically use for, like, you know, just those daily shampoos, soaps, things like that. Whereas at Costco, you know, we're buying a lot of paper products, paper towels. We do a lot of laundry soap, things like that. So we have miscellaneous, we have spending, we have takeout. Do you ever feel like some days your handwriting is just like, your hand just won't cooperate? That's how I feel like. We have water, and this is for drinking water. We get like our 5-gallon jugs filled up. And then we have our pets envelope. So that's all of them. I always know I should have one line left and I'm on track. Okay, we don't change much here often, you guys. So groceries is going to get $300, $200 to Costco, $150 to gas. We're going to put $60 in the house and beauty, $40 into miscellaneous, $360 into spending, and this is for both my husband and I, and we each get $100 free and clear, and then the rest we kind of keep in there for like kids spending, activities, things like that. All right, we're gonna put 100 into takeout, we're gonna put 42 into water, and we're gonna put 50 into pets. This should equal 1302, but let's just double check. Okay, yep, 1302. All right, so let's put that in there. And then we're gonna take that from our 1860, which is gonna leave us $558. And we're gonna bring that $558 up here to our sinking funds categories. So I don't outright stuff my sinking funds anymore. I use savings challenges for them. But when I first started budgeting, I definitely was not doing savings challenges, and I was focusing on building kind of a starting point in the sinking funds, which I would highly recommend if you're new to budgeting, because what's going to happen is you're working on savings challenges and you're not getting money into the sinking funds. And so, you know, you don't have that money there. So when things come up for pets or clothes or things like that, I'm just thinking of some common sinking funds, you know, then we kind of tend to rely on pulling from other areas or maybe even debt. So I definitely recommend kind of establishing a little baseline in your sinking funds and then kind of working in savings challenges. Now, if you have a plethora of income, then by all means, you can probably squeeze in both. So all that to say that every budget is different, you guys. And if you go back and look at some of my much older videos, that's typically how I would do it. I would actually stuff my sinking funds directly. And then if I had a rollover in my wallet, I would use that for savings challenges. So just kind of some thoughts, sharing my journey a little bit with you if you're new to my channel. All right, so our common ones are month ahead, emergency fund. We have Christmas. It's like my main sinking fund, so I definitely specifically save for that. Savings challenges. This is my general savings challenge binder, and this is what typically goes to sinking funds. And then we have our debt binder where I like to throw extra at debt if we can. Okay, so month ahead gets 33 and emergency fund gets 64 and Christmas gets 100. Those are kind of the non-negotiables. I stuff those first. So let's do 558 minus our 33 minus our 64 minus our 100 for Christmas. We're at 361. So 200 goes into sinking funds which is going to leave $161 in the budget towards our debt binder. And I'll tell you, I'm going to have rollover in my wallet, and I will take some of that rollover and go ahead and round that up to 200. I just don't know exactly what my rollover is yet. So I am not popping it in here per se as income. I'll just go ahead and supplement that on the side, if that makes sense. So 558, because generally I like to have at least 200 going into my debt binder if I can make it work. Again, you guys, we have our debt snowballs built in. So, you know, I'm not concerned that we're not putting enough towards debt. In fact, this year, I'm really actually trying to focus more on balancing savings and debt payoff, because initially I've been debt. And I think that's where I've run into trouble, in not having enough savings. And then we have had a few things come up where we have incorporated more debt. So I'm trying to kind of find the balance so we can avoid that. And I think we're right now, we seem to be in a sweet spot. We definitely have a really well-established emergency fund, and we're still trying to grow it each year, you know. So I feel pretty good. So I don't stress too much if I don't have like tons and tons of extra money in our budget to throw at our debt binder. I find other ways if I can. So, you know, and you can see we're supplementing quite a bit from my YouTube pay, which, thank you guys. I wouldn't have this without all of your support. And I don't typically like to put any sort of side hustle income into my budget like this. Because I certainly never want to rely on that, because it is not guaranteed. It could be here one day and gone the next. Absolutely. Our steady full-time income has got to cover the budget as much as possible. I am not too worried about it here, because this 256 is really incorporated over here into savings. So if we didn't have that, we would be okay to, you know, cut down some of this savings here if we needed to. The important piece is that my primary income is covering these two categories 100%, and they are. So, you know, again, I don't like to rely on this at all, and normally wouldn't add it into a budget like this, but that's why this time I feel okay doing it, because I know that that's where that money's going to go anyways. So I thought it was nice to kind of share how sometimes if my income comes in a little bit lower, because we're both paid hourly, so there can be some variance. There's typically not too big of a difference, but you know, my husband's had some change with his call hours and things like that. So I'm still trying to learn what his kind of new income is. And so, you know, the 2025 has been a little bit more challenging in my budget compared to the last, I would say, 2 years, where it's been pretty darn steady. But at this point, I'm just rambling on. So we have accounted for every dollar in this budget, which gives us a zero-based budget, you guys. So that is what we like. Zero-based budget does not mean that there is no money left in my account. It just means every dollar has a job or a place, even if that place is to sit in my checking account as a buffer or rollover, which I don't have on this time, but I have had in the past. So all right, you guys, that's going to be the budget with me. I wanted to see how long this video was. It's about at 18 minutes. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and I was going to maybe make a separate video for this, but I think I'll go ahead and tag it on here. So what I want to do is, let's get back into the budget book. So let me pull this out. Ooh, sorry, you guys. I have got to get some sort of something on my desk here. Okay, and then let me also put my new budget back in here. Okay, so one thing I want to do is I want to flip over to this kind of expense tracker here. So I'm gonna do this, and give me a quick second. All right, I'm gonna grab that, and I'm going to grab my wallet. So this is something different that I have started doing now that we have all of our credit card debt except for one paid off. I am really starting to use my credit card for my daily spending, and then paying it back with my cash to just kind of earn those rewards, since I'm not carrying a balance now. I would not have been able or trusted myself to do it this way before. You know, it's taken me, because I could easily in the past excuse myself to swiping my credit card for, let's say, groceries and just saying, I'll just, you know, I won't pay it back with my grocery money. I'll just leave that and use it for a rollover or whatever. And then I'll kind of carrying debt. Like, I can admit to, I would easily do that in the past. And now I've gotten to where I'm pretty good at not doing that. And I feel a little bit more trustworthy of myself to pay that back. So what I've been doing is tracking my cash expenses and noting like what card I put them on and where I need to pay that money back to. So I want to go ahead and look through the spending and pull the cash and get that deposited so I can make the payment. And then I can see what I have for rollover, and then I can stuff my wallet with the next 2 weeks of pay. So the first thing I'm going to start with is groceries. I'm going to grab my highlighters too, you guys. And this will kind of show how I do like tracking of my expenses. So I definitely need to like keep up here. I need to update my ending balance. I haven't done that. And let me grab my calculator. We're gonna need that as well. So I'm gonna start with groceries. So for me, I list that category as food. So I'm gonna find all of my food and I'm gonna highlight it in my food color, which is this pink. So I've got this one here at Walmart. We spent $68.49. At Smith's, I spent $129.61. And I also spent $104.77 in the past 2 weeks for food. So we're gonna go ahead and add those three up. So $68.49 plus $129.61 plus $104.77. So I'm at $302.87 for food. I budget $300, you guys, so I am about $3 over budget. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that money, and let's see, we've got a 50 in there. So let's do 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 240. So there's 240, 290, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. There's the 300. So we have the 300. Let's do that. We're going to take it all. So I am $2.87 short, but I'm going to make up for that right here, right now. The next thing I'm going to look at is Costco. And I do just highlight this one in pink, even though, like I said, I keep it separate. So that's at Costco, we spent our $393.77. So I'm going to flip to my Costco envelope. And I hope this is not like really confusing you guys. So I'm going to just go ahead and round up and call it $394. So we've got 1, 2, 20, 40, 60, 80, 3, 20, 40, 60, 84. So I have 400. So what is that? 394. But I'm going to go ahead. Actually, let me, because I'm going to use, I have money here and I'm going to use that to make up for that $3 I was over budget in groceries, if that makes sense. So let's do 6849, 12961, 104.77 plus 393.77. So to cover all of that, I need 697. So I've got 300. So from here, I need 397 and I have 400, which means I will have $3 left, right, you guys? So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3 and put this back in my Costco because I do roll over Costco money. Okay, so that will stay in there. All right, next up is my house and beauty envelope. And then let me grab my highlighter for that. That's this one, right? No, where is that one? It's this one. Okay, so I do have an expense here for $41.66 for house and beauty that I need to pay back to my Amazon card. And the reason this one's on my Amazon card is because it's like a subscription, right? I have some of my husband's like soap and shampoo and things like that on subscription. So I'm gonna get into House and Beauty, and I'm just gonna round up. I need $42. I have 60 in here. So I need $18 back in change, which I don't have. I need some tens. Let's do, shoot. So 40, let me mark these as pulled the money. Okay guys, I'm gonna need to like find some change here really quick. Let me see what's in my spending. I'm gonna just make change really quick before I really get messed up. So I'm gonna put 2 tens in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this 20. Actually, I think I need to take this 20, and then I'm gonna put this 20 in. This goes here. Okay, put that back. This is why I like never do cash condensings and things, you guys, because you could see my brain is working overtime. Let's flip back to, oh, this goes into spending too. Shucks. Let me add that in there. Get in there. Let's go back to House and Beauty, and now I can give myself $18 in change. There's 15, 16, 17. I'm $1 short. I will know to come back. Now, I don't roll this over, so this is rollover for me, right? So remember I told you I know I'm going to have rollover, so I'll put that towards the debt binder, so that's where that will go. Also, I try to put rollover towards my Monday minis. Okay, next up, I have 2 gas expenses. I'm going to go ahead and highlight those, you guys. But gas, I don't stuff. It stays in the checking, so I will just move that money over. And we were well under budget for gas. One for about 50. So we're about $84 for gas, and I budget 150. So we'll just have that in our checking buffer is what I do when I have leftovers there. Okay, next up, see these ones that I had the checks on? They came out of my checking account. So for those ones, I have already pulled the money and put that back into my checking account and replaced that. So we're not gonna fuss with those. I'll go ahead and highlight them off, but they're already taken care of. So like spending, my husband was buying some Kindle books. I've already paid that back out of our spending. Auto, where's my green? Guys, where are my, I'm missing my green for auto. Oh, I know where it's at. Okay, just had to go grab it. I use it to highlight off my budget as well. So this has already been paid back. We had some registration fees. We pulled some money from our kids' sinking fund for Kennedy's book fair at school. So we've already paid the checking account back for that. I have a miscellaneous expense here. So let's take care of that, because that's the envelope that we're on. And that is for $38.57. So we're going to go ahead and round that up to $39, which would give me $1 back in change, which I don't have. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put in the 40. And if I get $1, great. Okay, and then the last thing I need to pay back is my husband ordered some auto parts, and that is from Walmart, and that's gonna come out of our car maintenance sinking fund. And so that's $134. And I'm sorry, $133.94. So let's go ahead and highlight this one off, because we are going to pull from that sinking fund. Let me go grab that sinking fund binder. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but this is new and different, so you guys always know how that stuff goes, right? So give me a second. All right, guys, so here is my sinking funds binder that has the car maintenance envelope. So car maintenance. So I need $134 out of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, that couldn't have worked out better. So there's 100, and I'm going to put 144, and I will go ahead and take a 10 that I do have. Okay, and there's those ones. So put this 10 in here, and that leaves 120, 30, 135 in car maintenance, because I did finally deposit some of that into my high yield, you guys, because I had so much in here. So let's track this so I don't get like, oh my gosh, why am I missing so much money? 134 for Walmart. So we had 269 minus 134 is going to leave us with 135, which is what we have. So that's perfect. And that was on, I don't know. It's okay. The date doesn't really matter, I guess. And so that's taken care of. And now I have this dollar that I can pay back as well to my miscellaneous, and I'll just go ahead and put that in rollover, you guys, okay? Because I don't roll over anything in here other than Costco and pets. All right, so that is all of our expenses counted up for. So let's just double check ourselves here. I'm gonna go ahead and add up what we're supposed to be paying back other than the checking and gas. Okay, so that is $910. We should have rounded up to $911. Let's make sure we have $911 here, you guys. We've got 1, 2, 3, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 40, 60, 88, 20, 40, 60. So there's 860. Okay, we have 860 plus our 50 is 910, and I have $3. So I actually have $2 extra here. I only need 911 to pay back. And that's because I'm rounding up with the change, right, you guys? So that's where this $2 comes from. So guess where it's going to go? Roll over, because I just need the 911 to go back to my credit card. Oh, that was super exciting. It worked out. I'm so excited about that. That was actually a lot of fun too. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like to see this part? Should I keep it? And if you do, should I keep it with the budget with me like today, or should we keep it as a separate video? Let me know what you think. But let's go ahead and finish unstuffing the rest of our envelopes. We have a ton left over in spending because we had some rollover from last time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it. We have been doing pretty good at cutting down on spending. And we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. We have 232 out of our 360 from the last 2 weeks in spending left. So let's put that over there. Water. We didn't have to get water this time. I will definitely need to this time. So we have $42 from water. And then, like I said, pets, we always roll over, and pets has 51, 120, 25, 30, 31, 32, 132 left in it. So that's perfect. I do need to go get some dog food, and Duncan has a groom appointment on Monday. So fabulous. All right, you guys. Yay. So we have our cash going back to pay our credit card, and we were able to be within budget, which is great. And then we have quite a bit, especially with our spending, we have quite a bit in, rollover. I'm going to set that there. And so this money will go both towards making up for that money I like to put in the debt binder, and then also we'll use some of this for our Monday minis this week as well. All right, friends, let me know what you think. I know it was kind of messy here at the end because I'm first time doing it, so just trying to figure it out. Sometimes it's hard. I want to share what I'm doing with you guys, but if I've never done it like by myself, you're learning with me. So I hope that you enjoyed it. But I think that's going to work out pretty good. I'm excited about it. So we'll get this money deposited and put into the bank account and pay back our credit card. And then we'll be ready to pull out our money for envelope and savings for this paycheck. And honestly, I'll probably use this so I don't have to go to the bank again. And then what's left, I'll deposit it and make the payment instead of like depositing and pulling out money, if that makes sense. So sometimes you just kind of recycle your own money. All right, you guys, I'm officially just rambling. I hope that you liked this video, you found it helpful. Thank you so much again for all of your support here. It means the world to me. You guys are great. I know watching you guys really keeps me motivated, so I hope I offer a little of the same. But if you like this one, friends, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to stick around, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.